Welcome to Prime Testimony channel. We've been on this topic for some time now, but you and I will agree with me that it's been very helpful so far. Today we are going to continue with becoming one flesh in marriage. With me here is my beautiful sister, Mercy Mausi Kukoi. This Prime Testimony channel, and as I always do ask, I humbly ask that you subscribe to this channel, and those of you who have already subscribed to, I thank you very much, and I will continue to encourage you that continue sharing the videos. So we'll go straight ahead to discuss the topic which is on the table. Welcome, sister.
Thank you. Last time, we started by looking at the soul oneness. And with that, we said there are three main components that constitute the soul. We have the mind, we have the will, and we have the emotions. And we dwelt a bit more on the emotions because of its nature. Our emotions are the most delicate parts of our bodies, and so it can be crushed, we said, it can be hurt, it can be injured, it can even be damaged. And like to those times when we used to go to school, somebody said make child damage. So our emotions can even be damaged. So after looking at the soul, that added up to the spirit oneness we looked at. So altogether, we've been looking at the flesh, and we said the flesh is of three components. We have the spirits, we have the soul, and then we have the body. So definitely you can tell what's up next, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yes, so it means that once that we are dealt with the spirit, we've dealt with the soul, today we want to look at body oneness. And I believe you've been looking forward to this for a very long time.
Yes, but my sister, let me come in here. If you are going to talk about the body, then I will encourage you to take your time to dissect it one by one, corner by corner, everywhere, because that issue of body has been the bone of contention in a lot of marriages.
Right.
We laugh about it, but I'm telling you, people are crying, people are hurting, people are doing all sorts of things because of this body. So we open our ears, we are listening. Monko.
Right. Yes. So body oneness. It is with our body that we receive stimuli and we give stimuli. So for example, if my husband should tell me, Mercy, I love you.
Jesus Christ.
It is with my auditory organ, in this case represented by the ear, that picks that stimuli. So the voice is a stimuli. Okay, so it picks up that stimuli. And then it goes on and on. The brain picks it up. And once the brain picks it up, that's where another system, I don't want to go technical here, so too technical, so let me try and keep them simple. So the brain picking the signal will communicate to other functions of the body to release good feeling, hormones. And that's how we feel good about something that somebody has said. And this is an emotional thing, right? So the body is picking something, a stimuli, and then it ends up with the soul being so good. And you see that it's a reflect on the body. The soul is feeling good. You see that the body also feels très bien, good, as the French people will put it. And so body oneness. Spirits don't have sex. Well, other people will have their own, they will have their own interpretations to some of these. But well, I know that with our spirits we don't have sex with our spouses, and with our emotions also we don't have sex with our spouses. It is with our bodies that we have sex with our partners. And so we all know the components of sexual activities, the kissing, the touching, the caressing, and then usually ultimately will end up in coitus,
Okay.
copulation,
Okay.
or as we usually say, sex,
All right.
sexual intercourse.
Okay.
Right. So sexual intercourse in marriage is fundamental, very, very, very important. Without it, there is no marriage. In fact, if we marry and we don't consummate it with sexual intercourse, that marriage cannot be called marriage. And for that matter, it goes to the court of law and that marriage can be abolished. Probably there is a reason why people cannot consummate the marriage, and maybe they didn't tell the spouse until marriage is over. And then we get in and we realize that there is something that will not allow us to consummate the marriage. The court of law will abolish that marriage. And so because of its fundamental nature, we say it is a survival motive. Sex is a survival motive. In fact, much as you need air to survive, you need food, and you need water to survive, so do you need sex.
So that which means that if you're married and you don't have sex, you can't function properly.
It's a survival motive. In fact, it is, if you recall Abraham Maslow's theory, at the base, he has something he calls the physiological needs.
Okay.
You need that one to survive. Without it, you can't survive. Okay, so physiological needs means that it is so basic to our needs. So there you find food, there you find other basic things. Before you even climb up to the ladder to talk about the need for affection and association and all of that. Yes, so sex is a survival motive. And you know, without it, human race will be extinct.
Which means that issues about sex, which usually becomes quarrel between married couples, if there's such a problem and it is not resolved quickly, it can even kill the marriage, from the way you were explaining.
Oh, definitely. So, like I said, without it, even the human race will be extinct, and so can a marriage be extinct without sexual relations. So we'll get there to know sometimes it's not every time that people are not giving in to sexual intercourse that they are being hard or harsh or day on the partner. No, there could be some underlying, there could be biological issues, there could be psychological issues, and so on and so forth. So that is what whoever is helping, in many cases the psychologist, will have to look into, trace whatever the cause is to a root.
Right.
You know, and then they can recommend a solution to the problem.
Right.
Yes. And so also sex is a social motive. Okay. Social motive because it involves more than one person. And in this case, heterosexual relations. Heterosexual relations.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a social motive, as I said, because we don't do it to ourselves. Like these days, many young people are doing this to themselves. We call that self-indulgence. So we don't have sex with ourselves. So if you are listening to us and you do a lot of pornographies, you do a lot of masturbations and so on and so forth, please, it is not healthy to you. You need to seek help as much as you can to desist from all this, because per the master plan of God, God created a woman to the man. God created a woman whom Adam saw and exclaimed, "Whoa, this is bone of my bone. This is my kind, my type. Not like the lion, not like the elephant, not like the bird. This is my type. This will be called woman." Womb man, some people say. The man with a womb man. It's been said that men usually love sex. They love sex more than, they think about it more often than women. And so there have been some myths around this, So one of the myths says that men think about sex 7 times per second. And this is a whopping 8,000 times in 16 hours of the man being awake. We know that we sleep as part of the number of hours we have. And so this is a myth. However, I have found another research that says that averagely, men under 60 years will usually think about sex once in a day. And so I think, the saying is so right that men usually think more often about sex than women. But I know that women also appreciate sex very much. So,
but do you also think about it?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
It's true that men think about sex more often than women, because in spousal relation, you can tell by the number of times the man comes chasing after the woman than the other way round.
Yeah, but because the women receive, I think you people enjoy more than the men.
Not really. The enjoyment is mutual.
No, I'm giving you a natural microphone. Say the truth.
The enjoyment is mutual.
So why is that sometimes, instead of saying that we use ourselves, so say, you use me and you use me, you help me. Say we use ourselves.
So it depends. You see, sometimes, and let me be honest here, many times women do not enjoy sex because it's as if the thing should be done to us. It should be done to us. But it shouldn't be that way. And sometimes I liken it to the restaurant serving. Restaurant service, you can get the buffet type of service.
Yeah.
You can get the a la carte type of service, and sometimes even room service if you call for it.
Okay, can you explain them? What was the a la carte and the room service?
So you see, when you go to the restaurant, the buffet service usually feels good because you walk to the table and you can pick anything you want to eat to your feel. And then the a la carte, in the case of the a la carte service, whoever is serving you will have to serve you. Okay, so you sit down and whoever is serving you will have to bring the food to you and then you consume it to enjoy it.
All right.
Okay, so the buffet kind of service does not really work well in the bedroom, my dear ladies. The buffet kind of service. So it's like you are there, do it to me. The man, serve yourself. Have your fill.
Adam and Eve.
Have your feel. No, let's do the service. It should be mutual. So we serve each other, So the a la carte case I cited, somebody brings the food and then somebody consumes it. Okay, so it's mutual. So once we are actively involved, so I think the men get more satisfied because they are actively involved
than the women.
Yeah,
I'm not drawing you back. Can you expatiate on the buffet service? You made mention of the fact that it should not necessarily be done in the bedroom.
Yes.
Assuming maybe you are living in your own house, even if it's a rented apartment, you have let's say 2-bedroom and a hall, even 1-bedroom and a hall, or a living room, as we usually call it, with your wife. Which other areas in the house? I'm talking about married couple.
Sure.
Because the audience, they are learning.
Yeah. Well, in case there is nobody at home.
Yes, assuming there's nobody at home.
There's nobody at home.
In fact, there's nobody in that area. Everybody is gone.
Right. You see, this kind of thing, monotony can put people off sometimes. Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
So if always we are having coitus and it is on the bedroom, it's just on the bed, Sometimes boredom may set in, and that's why the variety. Okay, so as for sexual relations, and let me clarify here that even sexual relations is not only vagina penis only. Sexual relations is varied. Yes. So all these things we mentioned, touching, caressing, fondling, all of that. You see, even at the kitchen while cooking, when nobody's around.
Okay, you can sit on the hot stove, right? Or you can carry the bed on your head and start running around.
And usually sometimes
make the scripture plain.
Well, I have been playing as much as I can. Some of the things can be best discussed off air.
No. We want it here. We're on Children Christ. So everything that happened at the church, we want it now. Say it.
So, Uncle, let me ignore that question and say that even in the bedroom, sometimes even the position of the bed, can vary. So this year it's over here, next year we can reposition, and all these things bring some variety and some spice to our day-to-day relations. Right, so I have just explained that women, let's get actively involved. It is very, very important we actively participate. That is how we can also fully enjoy the acts and not leave it to the men alone. Now, much as we have said that men think about sex more often, let me hint here that if you place respect and sex on a ladder, I bet you the man will pick respect over sex. In other words, the most important need of a man in a marital relationship is not the sex. It is respect.
Can you repeat what you just said?
Yes. Uncle Ato, what I'm saying is that the most important need of a man in a marital relationship is respect. One, because they have been placed in roles of authority as the leaders of the home. And the man's ego can never be toyed with. I learned very early in our marital years not to joke with the ego of men. And I learned that from our first boy, who was around 3 to 4 that time, and his father was traveling and he was aware, so we're discussing, and this boy said, okay, so mommy, now that daddy is traveling, I am the next in charge.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I learned the ego of men, and it's innate too. I gave this example to show you that it is innate, because look at the boy, less than 4 years, talking about being in charge because his father was traveling. So it is innate. And ladies, I just want to encourage you that because it is innate, associated to emotions, please let us not joke with that. However, that being said, respect can also be mutual. So we need to respect each other. Uncle Ato, it seems to me that most of the time, the high-level courtesies that we have towards each other begins at courtship and ends at marriage. So it seems as if our spouse was a prey. A prey that was trapped. And so once we were able to trap the person during courtship with high-level courtesies, and the thing switched to marriage, that is the end of courtesy. But that ought not to be so. We need to respect each other at every time. Because I have shared here on this channel that the most responsible organ for sexual intercourse is the brain. It will marvel you, but that is the truth. It is the brain, because the things go, the brain picks the signal, and then once the signal is picked, the right hormones are released, the dopamines, the serotonins, and other endorphins, they are released. And that gives some good feeling that make you want to have or receive sexual relations.
You are enjoying it. And I'm sure right now that I'm going to end this session here. You are not happy. You know something? Just stick around. We are coming back soon in our next video. This is Prime Testimony Channel. Thank you very much, Auntie Mercy, for such education. I did say stick around. So kindly meet me at the other side, where you meet us still seated, sharing with you in our next video. God bless you. My name is Atso Brentishan, and my sister here, as we did mention at first, is Mercy Mausi Okoy. God bless you.